Rolling. Okay.
So Vijay, we're starting a podcast.
Hello, bhai. Paji. We're going to keep all this in. All right.
Are we?
Yeah.
What the?
Okay, no, we won't.
Put this at the end.
Yeah. I like it.
Okay.
Okay. Pavan,
Vijay,
this is our first podcast.
this is it.
Whoa.
Can I touch this?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Okay, let's try it again.
Wait, is
Touch
it
man.
gonna like ruin it?
Beats me, man.
Okay.
I'm not touching it. Hello, Pavan.
Hello, Vijay.
We are doing this podcast.
We're starting a podcast.
Yes. Look my strong.
Oh my god.
Do you want me to start it?
No.
just leave it.
This is good. This is, gets the juices going.
Yeah.
Oh, you start.
This has been a long time coming.
I know, man. I know. We've been wanting to do this for a long time.
Yeah.
A podcast.
Third Space Podcast.
So what is the idea behind this podcast? Why are we doing a podcast? In the ICM space.
Good question.
Our podcast's dead. Is it a dead medium?
Dead meeting. Oh, like everyone's doing.
Everyone's doing it.
Everyone's
Saturated.
mom and grandma and
Yeah.
yeah,
You know. Joe Rogan is doing it.
yeah. Joe Rogan.
Like, why? What do we have to say that's important?
Good question. Well, if no one's doing it in the ICM space,
I agree.
right?
I agree.
But I mean, are we even ICM space? Like,
We're third space.
we're third space there.
Whoa. No, but in all honesty, I think we come from a generation of students, I should say, music students who go on YouTube. We watched like a multitude of videos of like Zakir G, of like all the great tabla players, and it's sort of like a captive audience of people who watch long form content of Indian classical music.
Mm-hmm.
And what we notice is that there's a lack of English interview content of these great artists, English content, talking about the topic, talking about all these things that are important to us. So this is an increasingly globalized art form. So why not just provide some content in this space?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, that's one part of it. I think another part is like, we've met some good musicians, a lot of new friends lately. It's like interesting to when you speak to them to see how everyone kind of ticks differently.
Yeah.
Like and what makes creatives, not just musicians, let's say, what drives them, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people would think it's like similar, but everyone's got a very different story.
Totally. Yeah.
And so like I would love for us to kind of get in their heads
Yeah.
and see how their creative process is,
Yeah.
and just hear their stories, right?
And humanize them a little bit. I think we tend to idolize some of these figures who are like really incredibly talented, and just talk to them about how they approach their music and how they express their creativity. And then to your point, there are a lot of people in our community, especially as of late, who have come from India and Pakistan, and they live here and they work, regular 9-to-5 jobs,
Yeah.
but they're like incredibly talented,
Uh-huh.
and they don't get to express themselves in their creative art form all the time. And I hope that this can be a platform for them as well to share their perspectives.
That's a good point. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Third Space Podcast.
Yeah. Third Space Talks. Is that what it's called?
I think so.
Okay. I like it.
Well,
I like
let's see. Maybe the people have something to say.
Yeah,
in
maybe
the comments.
they can
What do
vote.
people think about Third Space Talks?
Third Space Sawal Jawab.
Yeah.
I like it. So what's the first topic you have?
Well, it's interesting. The podcast is not the first kind of like medium that we're choosing.
No.
Last year was like a whirlwind of programs.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that. Like, how did this happen? Last year was a dream. Let's put it like that.
Yeah,
and a
yeah.
whirlwind.
Yeah.
Like, what happened last year?
Yeah. I mean, let's tell people the story of how it started as well. Like, take them to day one, day zero, really. We had reconnected. What year was that? 2023?
January 2023.
Yeah, okay.
At Ustad Ari Khan's show in Markham.
So this was like coming out of COVID, out of the pandemic. Indian classical music, Pakistani classical music kind of took a bit of a hiatus for a few years.
Well, the world took a hiatus for a few years.
Yeah, there you go. And not only that, so for a few reasons, obviously COVID, but also I think the passing of our first guru,
Yes.
Ustad Mohan Singh Dehille,
Yeah.
who used to be he used to put on all the programs.
Yeah, a few things like kind of collided.
Yeah.
First of all, we kind of lost touch
Yes.
for maybe 4 or 5 years.
Yeah. You moved to the States.
Yeah, and you moved to Paris.
Yeah.
And then Mohan Singh passed away in 2019.
Yes.
And then COVID happened.
Yeah.
So
a bunch of stuff.
all that stuff collided.
Yeah.
And then when we met again, it was kind of like this revival, not just us, like Ramona, we saw after so long, Vinesh, like a lot of our grupais.
Mm-hmm.
And then it felt like it was like that whole season of like renewal. First of all, everyone's coming out from COVID.
Yeah.
But then it feels like musically kind of everything stopped too.
Yes.
Maybe because of for us, it was our passing of our first ustad, obviously.
Yeah. And for me, Riyaz stopped as well.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
but then we came back in 2023 because of a program, the Ustad Tariq program in Markham.
Yeah.
That Jaswinder uncle put on, and that was I think Ustadji was accompanying Vinay Desai on santoor.
Yeah.
Right? And then he was doing a tabla solo, Ek Tal, I remember. And Pankaj Bhai was on Nagma, right?
Yeah.
And we had reconnected. No, we actually reconnected before that. Pinky G's concert.
Yeah, the one jam you put on.
Yes,
yeah.
in Brampton. So we reconnected there, and that was like November of 2022, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And we had caught up. It had been years since we caught up, and then we saw each other again in January.
Yeah.
And then what was it? I think we were just like, we should jam.
Well, no, we hung out. Remember at that burger place?
Okay, so yeah. I think we just caught up. We went to that burger place, Burger Bros.
Yeah.
And you're just like, what'd you say? You were like, I have a proposal.
It wasn't like that.
Okay.
I was just like, bro, we should do something, right?
Yeah, we should
with music.
Well, no, okay, but the way you put it, it was like very dramatic. You're like, I have this idea, like, you were like, I did a concert in 2014.
Yeah, no, I remember. Okay, no, I remember. Yeah. So it's so funny because so me and my brother did the Surdarshan concert here in 2014.
That's right.
That was like 8 years ago.
Yeah.
From that day we met, and that concert went really well. I felt like we sold out like 400 seats, and it was first time doing that thing, and kind of like what our Ustad used to do. He used to put on the best concerts, and that was our first kind of foray into that. And I remember the high that I was on after that. It was just like, that was cool. Like seeing something from concept happen in reality. And then I wanted to create like the next kind of darbar, kind of like centralized festival of Indian classical music. And I remember I was on this like really big like kind of wave in my head. But then I got a job, my first like job out of university, like and then that went on hold.
Yeah.
And it was in the back of my head ever since then. But then when I met you, for some reason, it was just like,
you were looking for a partner. I remember you saying you were looking for the right kind of person.
But it wasn't even like that. It was like, it was just on hiatus in my subconscious.
Right. Yeah.
Then when we met, I don't know why, I was like, and it wasn't even like I was thinking about this.
Right.
But when I met you, it was like almost like, oh, okay, this is it was waiting till this moment.
Interesting.
When destiny was supposed to be like, okay, your karma is supposed to start now about this thing.
Yeah.
And then I mentioned it to you, and you're just like, yo, dude, let's do it.
Yeah.
But then you were also doing something. That third.
Okay. Yes, that's right. So, meanwhile, in this break, but when in the time that we hadn't been talking, catching up, right? I've been doing a lot of stuff in Brampton around arts and culture. And I had started this like little sort of nonprofit around celebration of arts and culture in Brampton. And then I was thinking, there's so much talent in the city. I wanted to do this sort of intimate. Largely inspired by the Batak Mehfil model that Mohanji, would be such a fan of, right? And we were such fans of. I wanted to bring that sort of mahal, that sort of vibe, but have like all kinds of musicians kind of do their thing, right? In an intimate space. 20, 30 people.
You called it half concert.
Yeah. That's right. Because And that wasn't an original idea. I had gone to a few half concerts in Toronto when I lived there, and I love them because they're very like intimate and vibey, dim lighting. So I love the
Wait,
vibe of it.
describe for the people what a half concert is.
So the idea is it's like essentially you have musicians performing a full-fledged concert, or not a full-fledged concert, but like a stripped back sort of unplugged style concert with like acoustic guitars or whatever, like very, very bare bones. But it's in a room, like a living room or a cafe, like an intimate environment, and there's like max 50 people. Like it's not a big concert, it's not a hall.
But some people are sitting, some people are standing.
Exactly.
Right? That was
yes.
one of the
Exactly.
things that struck me when you described that.
Yeah, some people are sitting, some people are standing. Like it's like an environment where people can kind of like shout out and like, like it reminded me of like when people say "kya baat hai," like when they're kind of in a batik setting, right?
Right.
That's sort of the environment, right? It's very, very cozy, and I love that. Because I went to one at 915 DuPont, and I was like sitting on a beanbag chair, and there were people like standing beside me, and like it was cool. So I wanted to recreate that here in Brampton, and I'd worked on this idea. I did like a mood board, and I had come across someone named Ray Oldenburg, who wrote this book called
Sociologist, right?
Sociologist, right? And he wrote this book called Third Place. Or Third Places, and this is probably a basic concept to a lot of people, but it was the first time I'd come across it, where we have our first places, which is primarily our home, second places, school or work, and then third places, which are community gathering points, watering holes, parks, libraries, things like that, where it's a free space where you interact with community, and I guess the general consensus is that there's been a decline in third places, and then I just had this feeling that this thing that I want to put together, this half concert idea, is actually called Third Space. It's like creating a space for people, but it's also a third place in and of itself where people can just sort of meet other people, and it's in physical space, and
right,
yeah,
outside of the home and the work, which is like the main places.
Exactly. Yeah. And there's this beauty of I also went to this, there's this thing called Artery, which also kind of created this sort of half concert vibe too. And what I loved about Artery is that it turned people's homes into concert venues, and like your balcony and your porch, and so this idea of like turning a home into a third place, right? Opening up your home to community. I thought, again, it's like our culture. This is Batak. This is what Batak is.
Yeah.
So yeah, anyway, so I had come up with this concept, put together a logo, did a write-up, a one-pager and all that. And then when you had presented this idea to me, I was like, I'm kind of working on a similar idea.
Yeah.
Like, it's not quite the full-fledged concert, but it's sort of like a similar vein. Like maybe this could be the philosophy behind this idea.
Right.
So yeah, and then
Yeah. But this all, it all worked in harmony because we liked that. Well, growing up at Moan Uncle's, that's where we learned our music, but not even music. I would say our sense of community.
Yeah.
And we, despite like, okay, the festival is one thing, but we agreed that the real magic happened in the third spaces, or let's say in the more intimate kind of like community settings, as opposed to a big theater or stuff like that.
Totally.
And so we were kind of like, both of these work,
Yeah.
like a standalone festival in a big theater, which you can argue that like after COVID, this was kind of dying down a bit. The whole like people getting together in a big mass gathering.
Totally, that's a super spreader event. Yeah.
Yeah. But then it worked, right? Because we were like, why don't we combine these things? And then we started to do these batiks.
And to be fair, when you had pitched the big concert idea, I think I was a little bit reluctant about it just because I had never done it. You did it in 2014. I had never done it.
Yeah.
I was just like intimidated by the big venue, all the expenditures, all that.
But even that 2014 one wasn't going to be at the scale of what we were thinking now, which was let's say double.
Double. Yeah,
so,
exactly. So it was like, we can talk about like my change in mentality over the course of the year and a bit, but yeah, in terms of the third places, I remember my favorite, I guess, performance to date was Pinky G's performance, like way back when, maybe 2010.
At Mon Calso,
Yeah, and Monji's basement, And I remember like this was one of my first batiks that I ever went to, and we went together. And Pinky G, he lit the agarbatti, and the lights were dim, and he like clearly cared about the environment, the mahal,
Yeah, the
right?
ambiance.
Yeah, and then Ratan's playing the this like beautiful Kirwani Lehra, and like it was just so good. Like, yeah, it was just such a good vibe, and you don't get that in a concert, is what I think.
Yeah. Well, we always say often like the magic doesn't happen the same in a batik style.
Yeah, I agree, completely agree. So yeah, but with the actual Moksha idea, so we didn't have the name Moksha just yet when you pitched it.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, you kind of
yes and no. So I remember even during the first concert, like I was with my friend Jag from England, and we were going to Niagara Falls, and we were thinking about like, oh, if there's a festival, what would it be called, right? And we would be like jamming ideas like throughout the week, and then we saw this restaurant called Moksha, in Niagara Falls, and we just looked at each other and we're like,
that's it. Yeah,
that's sick,
that's
right?
the one. Yeah.
And then even the word moksha, we were like flip-flopping between moksha and moksh.
Okay.
And then fast forward to when we started working on this in 2024.
Yeah, 23, 24, yeah.
Yeah, we were thinking of names.
Yeah.
And then we were asking our friends too, right?
Yeah.
We were like asking everyone like openly, like, what do you think? What do you think it should be called? These are ideas. And everybody gave like just whack names, like just very like basic
Indus Valley sounds.
Yeah. And then we just kept going back to moksha. Like it felt right.
And the thing is, a lot of people also didn't like moksha. I remember I was a little bit lukewarm about it too, but I think you were really stubborn about it. And the reason I appreciate that in retrospect, because moksha is one of those words where it, from a meaning standpoint, it works on so many levels.
Yeah.
It means like liberation, enlightenment, that sort of thing. But also it's a word that is somewhat recognizable to people. If you know, you know, sort of thing. And it's also like you just call it moksha. You don't have to call it like the Indus Valley Festival of Sounds.
Yeah,
like, it's
like a one. It's like a one word.
thing.
Like yeah. And even gore, right? It's like one of those recognizable words, like kismet, or they call it kismet, right?
Yeah.
And it's like moksha.
Yeah.
A lot of people know it's liberation.
Exactly.
So it worked, and we just ran with it.
Yeah, we did. And then I was really nervous about a big concert, and I remember thinking, okay, we should like pare it down and make it like really small, intimate. We shouldn't do like a big one for the first one we're doing. We should like build up. And you were like, no, we gotta go big. Go big.
Yeah, your idea was let's do this in the second year.
Yeah.
The scale we did in the first one.
Yes.
And we'll like scale up like that.
Yeah.
And then and I was like, no, we can do it, right?
Yeah.
But that's the thing, like we found, especially in the first couple of years, like I guess I'm really like a big dreamer.
Yeah.
And I can be a little bit creatively chaotic.
Yeah. And I'm a pragmatist.
And you're the guy that gets shit done.
Yeah, but I also like I can clip my own wings sometimes, and like, and sometimes like I feel like because you pushed me out of my comfort zone. Yeah, that's why we did the big 700-person festival in our first year.
Yeah.
And like we were kind of ill prepared for it, but like we made it happen, and it worked.
Yeah,
but
this year,
yeah.
I would say that you are the one that's dreaming even more. And I've like, so it's like kind of almost roles switched, but maybe we've bounced.
Yeah, totally.
Out in our personalities.
Yeah.
So it works
on
many levels.
Totally. It works. Yeah. And then, so like, should we talk about like how the set list came together and all that?
For Moksha.
For Moksha.
Yeah. How did that come together?
It was interesting because we had a million ideas.
Yeah.
And like, I don't even know if we should say them necessarily, but like,
probably not. But but there was a common theme in all of them. It was Pinky Ji and Shabaz Ji.
Yes, because Pinky Ji, of course, is your guru, and Shabaz Ji is my guru. You know, and I've been, since COVID started, I had this like, I missed tabla a lot.
Yeah.
And I connected with Shabaz Ji. So I had added him as a friend on Facebook like years and years ago, and I've always been in love with this tabla because very similar to Mohanji, like he comes from the Ustad Mian Shaukat Hussain lineage. Yeah. And he also learned from Abbaji and Ustad Faiz Khan, who, all three of those styles, and it's just incredible. but during COVID, I was like, I was really missing tabla and missing like that guru shishya kind of dynamic.
Yeah. It was
So
a few years like being removed from that.
from Onji, yeah. And I messaged him and I said, I would be honored and humbled to just like get on a call with you. And he was just so gracious with his time. And he was like, I sent him videos of me playing, and then he would give me tips on like how to improve my fingering and all of that. And it was really, really nice. And I just thought like his whole like demeanor and aura, I just knew how good of a person he was.
Yeah.
And I wanted
it fit your personality.
100%.
Like, he was the right guru for you.
Yeah.
You were
yeah.
looking for him.
Yeah, totally.
Without knowing it for many years.
And then Pinky G, yeah.
And well, Shahbaz came and we did his batik as our first third space official.
Yeah.
No. We had an event
technically
first.
or second, yeah.
Technically second.
But like, I think so how third space I guess started or kicked off is in October 2023. I wanted to do something for my mom's birthday, and I wanted to do a batik, like a Mohenji style batik.
Mm-hmm.
And we had met a bunch of like really incredible musicians, Jashanpreet Kaur, who she's an incredible singer. We met like Anirban Banerjee, really good, like sings incredible semi-classical, light classical stuff. And then Pankaj Mishra as well, who plays sarangi.
Yeah.
Mayor, all these, like everyone who performed was incredible. And we just kind of used that as a testing ground for like, okay, is there a community here? Is there a responsiveness to this sort of thing?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was a success.
Huge success.
Yeah. And then the second, so it was interesting because I had found out that Shahbaz Ji was coming for a concert at Aga Khan and the museum, and really last, like I messaged him. I said, okay, you're coming to Toronto. Is there anything like we can do, like a workshop, maybe something, And we talked about a tabla solo, and I was thinking because it was like only a couple of weeks out.
It was a quick turnaround from the first event.
Quick,
yeah,
super quick.
And that was when I was hesitant.
Yeah. you were hesitant, and I've never like sold tickets for an event.
Yeah.
Like this, and so I just pulled the trigger and I just like put together this poster and like an Eventbrite. I made an Eventbrite for the first time.
Yeah.
And then we just like told our friends and packed it out at Robbie's place.
Yeah.
And
it was a huge success.
It was crazy. Yeah.
I still watched that double solo today.
Yeah.
And just the atmosphere and the vibes were just like unmatched.
Yeah, it was top.
And Shahbaz Ji says it's like one of his favorites.
Yeah. And that's when I realized that Toronto's a tabla city as well.
For sure.
I mean, I guess I always knew that, but it's unique because we're hearing from artists themselves like such a learned audience, right? Such a informed audience, right? They're responding to the right things, and I remember people saying like, "Oh, that was like it reminded me of like Mohenji's basement,"
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was like a huge honor for us, right?
Yeah. So that happened, and then Pinky Ji came that summer before too.
That's right.
But those two ustads, we asked her ijazat and blessings, but we told them the idea of moksha. Yeah. And the guidance, like I often say to you, they're the patron saints of moksha. The guidance they gave us, I think they were the ones that they told us to do it. It's a good idea, and we just ran with it. Yeah. And we got the blessing of those two people, and that's all we needed. And then we just kind of like ran off into the fog and all this. We didn't know what we were getting ourselves into. Yeah. But they gave us the blessings. I think that was the springboard into this whole arena of event organizing 100%. And all that, and then we did all these events leading up to Moksha in October. We did 9 events,
and that we did consciously and unconsciously as well. Yeah, I remember Shahbaz Ji, his advice was, do not let go of the batik. Do not like lose sight of that. Right. That's the secret sauce. And you and I, every month leading up to Moksha, the first one, I think we did an event. Yeah. And that in turn kind of created this community and audience that then, came out to Moksha. Right?
Yes. And that's it. Not only that, it created this community, and we met so many cool people.
Incredible people.
Like every event, there was probably like 2 or 3 new people
that were just so talented and like interesting and
and they're all like good friends now.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So that's what made Moksha happen. It was the Batiks, ironically.
Yeah,
I think as a neutral, you would think, somebody planning a huge festival, they would have had like a certain game plan for us.
totally.
Like, oh, go on digital, go on, I don't know, like cold call, like knock doors or whatever. All of that isn't what made Moksha a success. It was the Batiks. It was the small events,
Yeah,
the third space events that led to the Moksha
yeah,
festival.
yeah,
And so that's kind of like how things fell into place.
Yeah.
Where third space music became the name of this collective that we started.
yeah.
And then Moksha Festival is the annual big scale theater festival, but it's under the umbrella of third space.
Yeah, that just kind of came together because this was sort of a fusion of our original ideas.
Yeah.
You had this idea of like this big festival, Darbar-esque festival, and I was thinking like we should do this sort of intimate half concert sort of thing, and they were perfectly complementary.
Yeah.
In many ways.
Yeah. And let's talk about that. It's
Yeah.
like, we say Darbar because it's what Sandeep's done creating that
Yeah.
in the West. It's just like every single person that's even slightly connected to Indian classical, it's just we just look up to him. We look up to that organization.
Totally. And I just want to say Sandeep Verdi is the son of Ustad Gurmeet Singh Verdi.
Yeah.
And that's there are lots of reasons why the Darbar Festival is an inspiration to us, but also because Mohanji, his first Ustad was Ustad Gurmeet Singh Verdi.
Yes.
And in the same way, like Moksha was kind of a tribute to Mohanji as well.
Yeah.
Darbar started as a tribute to Ustad Gurmeet Singh Verdi.
Yeah. So it's a nice parallel there.
Yeah, totally.
But I don't want people to like mistake that we're not trying to create Darbar.
No.
It's, to be honest, the Toronto scene is just so different as it is. But
I think the what Darbar has done,
you can't imitate that.
you can't. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's only one. Yeah.
Yeah. But the idea was that Indian classical music is such a cherished art,
Yeah.
and anyone that's in it knows the magic of it.
Totally.
However, it's such a niche thing, right?
Yeah.
And we have like we have like these certain ideas around it. What makes it like that?
Yeah.
There's good and bad, right? There's this mystique that I think Indian classical, not even just like the main artists, but just people involved, they carry this kind of like mystique or even a high brownness, which doesn't help other people get in.
Yeah, it's exclusive in a way, like inaccessible maybe.
Yes. Which we never liked, right? Because the thing is like, and that's the thing, Moksha is such a good name for it because Indian classical does help you connect to this kind of wavelength to transcend.
It originated in the temples,
Yeah.
Indian classical music, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So that's one part of why we want to do this, is to create a platform for Indian classical music on a high level that it deserves.
Yes.
Like if orchestras and Western art and music have these kind of huge halls and theaters, Indian classical deserves it.
Oh, 1,000%. And I think the idea behind Moksha is that it's not. So what happens in Toronto now, and there are lots of incredible organizers that do really good work, but when an ustad, when a fantastic, maestro comes to Toronto, people program their show in a piecemeal fashion.
Yeah.
What we don't have is a all-round celebration of the genre, an all-round celebration of classical music. Western classical music has it. The Jazz Festival has it. Like jazz has it in the Jazz Festival, right? The reason why we're inspired by the UK, by Sandeep ji, is Darbar is that in the UK. India has so many festivals. Toronto doesn't have that.
Yeah.
So what we wanted to do is is create a festival, a placeholder where it doesn't matter who the headliners are. We're celebrating every year. We have this time that is designated for the celebration of Indian classical music. Full stop.
Yes.
That's the idea.
Right? Yeah. Anyway. Hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
Yeah. But as we've started on, that was the mission
Yeah.
statement, and you can say that's the guiding light that we have.
Totally.
But there's a lot of things in order to help make that happen. I feel like there's a lot of things that need to be there's mini missions that have to be done as we go on that mission, and one part is making Indian classical music accessible.
Oh yeah.
And then hand in hand with that is educating people on Indian classical music.
Yes. Oh, totally.
And it's like, it's interesting, right? Because that's, I think, another mystique of Indian classical music, where it's like people, I think you can wrestle around who is allowed to educate that. Like us, we could stay in this kind of space of like, oh, you know, we're nobody. We're not like a professional musician or semi-pro.
Yeah.
And so who are we to say? But then that's the thing, right? That's the reason. That's one of the things, I think, the reason why it's these platforms are created, because maybe people don't give themselves the permission
Yeah.
to do that.
Yeah, I think that's sort of the birth of open riyaz as well.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
It was this idea that I think we did the first one like March 24.
So Open Riyaz is an event, right?
An event.
By Third Space.
Yes, it's an event by Third Space. Essentially, it's an open
And that was your
mic.
brainchild.
Yeah, and it was sort of like a happy coincidence that it happened, because what we were thinking is we want to do sort of an open mic kind of jam. It started as like, oh, we want to just jam with our friends, but then it became like a bigger thing. People came and like people want to come to spectate, and like also I should say there was this thing called practice. I think my friend Harman Garewal, he told me about it. It was this idea of like, it's called practice, and they did this thing at Burdocks in Toronto.
You're right.
Where people would go and like this producer who had never worked with this rapper before would go and like perform, and they'd do something on the spot, and sometimes it'd be terrible and horrible, sometimes it'd be incredible, but it was just like extemporaneous improvised music.
Right.
And it was great because it gave people a chance to like practice with a producer or with a rapper, with an instrument, right? And I wanted to kind of recreate that for Indian classical music, or not even just classical music, just
Indian music.
Indian music,
or just
right?
music.
Music,
really.
yeah, music, but just like with our community as well.
Yeah.
And so we talked about this, and our first kind of go at it was in March of 2024, and we just invited our friends that we had made along the way, and it wasn't this like ego thing where there's a headliner and there's like this and that. It was essentially like, strip the ego, you know. We're all coming. We all have a different level skill set, right?
Yeah.
And we're just gonna like pair random people up together and see what happens.
That was my favorite part. Like,
Yeah.
it was just like, first I was like, how are we gonna do this? I think one of the things we settled on was we start off the night with classical,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
As a broad genre,
Yes.
and then like classical vocal, and then
Yeah.
classical instrumental,
Yes.
and then we just get more semi-classical as the night goes, and we end with like Bollywood.
Yeah.
There was rock one time,
Yeah. Totally.
you know, and that was cool because it involved everybody, and
Yeah.
but it still kept like a little bit of a structure to just ease the night,
Totally.
like,
yeah.
the flow of it.
And it's really good because classical, again, we're making it more accessible because we're inviting like this R&B singer and this rapper and this, you know, rock person, and they're listening to Kayal. Like, you know, like,
And sometimes playing
and
with
sometimes
it.
playing like, someone was playing electric guitar to like some like Indian music, you know, and like classical or semi-classical music, and it was cool, it was interesting.
Yeah.
And then you know, we had someone like go into like R&B and then come back to an Indian song, and like it was cool, it was interesting. Nothing was rehearsed.
Nothing was rehearsed, but then that's the beauty of it, right?
Yeah.
If anything, this music, Indian classical and semi-classical, is
it's extemporaneous, it's improvised.
exactly.
Yeah. And the thing is, you know what's so interesting is there were a lot of people in the classical music space who were very like uncomfortable with that. They were uncomfortable with it because they do a riyaz, but they don't want people to see the riyaz. And that's what makes it more accessible, when you
Yes.
can see the mistakes a little bit.
It humanizes people.
Yeah.
And that is like one of the things that kills that mystique
Yeah,
indirectly, right?
totally.
So that's one of them. And then the other thing was pairing people that
Yes.
haven't played
Yeah,
before
yeah, yeah,
intentionally. And
Yeah.
that's become my favorite part,
Yeah,
is like on purpose putting people that have never played.
yeah,
And then it goes. Honestly, I was gonna say sometimes it goes well, sometimes it doesn't. But now that I think back, it didn't go well ever. Like it always went really well.
I can think of a couple that didn't go as well, but yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
but that's okay too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. In fact, I'm glad that it doesn't. You know, I sometimes, and it's not supposed to, but it always goes well in the sense that everyone just has a good time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even if it's not the best musically, at times it's still
Yeah.
like you learn, right? And you like they have a good time because everything's stripped back. Everyone's sort of like uncomfortable a little bit, and when everyone's uncomfortable, it makes everybody comfortable. You know?
Yeah, yeah. I think that the response was the best for that. Like
Yeah.
everyone loved that.
Yeah.
So we'll try to continue that this year.
Yeah, let's do it. 100%. 100%. All right, and then so that and then Moksha happened October 2024. Stressful.
Stressful. I don't remember how the night went,
I don't even know how. Yeah.
but
It
went well, I think.
Everyone says it went well, and then like looking back, obviously on the recordings, incredible music. I want like let's thank, you know, Ustad Sukhvinder Singh Pinky ji, you know,
Ustad Shahbaz
Ustad
Hussain.
Shahbaz Hussain, obviously Ustad Irshad Khan, all of the supporting musicians, Hardeep Channa, Ratan Bhamra, Mer Verk, yeah, everybody on the stage. If I'm missing anybody, my apologies. Jushin and Nikhil, who did the
that was killer.
lobby, that was really great.
Yeah.
All the vendors, like the artists.
It was an
art gallery.
experience.
It was insane.
That's what I liked the most. Like we were really intentional about creating an experience called Moksha, as opposed to this is Moksha. It's based on just the music.
Yeah.
As soon as people walked in the lobby, there was vendors, there was music going on throughout.
Yeah.
Like start, intermission, afterwards. The food situation can be better. I think we'll work on that this year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But the art gallery was cool.
Really cool. And what I loved about it is like people came and it created a new audience because you didn't have to know who Ustad Sukhvinder Singh Pinky is, Ustad Shahbaz Hussain, Ustad Irshad Khan. Like if you happened upon their music, you were impressed, but you also came for the art and you came for the vendors and the vibes, you know, like there were lots of reasons to come to Moksha. And it was a celebration of, in the first year our theme was around partition, because the artists we had on stage, they were all affected in some way by partition, and
they represented lands that
were partitioned lands. So like Punjab in India, Punjab in Pakistan, Pinky ji and Shahbaz ji respectively, and then often not spoken about is Bengal as well, West Bengal and Bangladesh, East Pakistan at the time, but now Bangladesh. You know, the music, right, is sort of the unifying factor here.
Healing the subcontinent through music. That was the theme.
Yeah, and then the vendors and the artists and the art gallery, all of them kind of spoke to a part of this theme in a way. And it was great.
Yeah. I love the choice of artists that we picked. And it ended up being 3 Ustads, which we didn't intend before.
No.
But it happened really nicely.
Yeah,
to just say, 3 Ustads.
Yeah.
I think Devin mentioned it like that. That was cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I loved what it represented.
Yeah.
Right? These seasoned artists that are like household names. But then you got them representing each of these states.
Totally, yeah.
And then what better way, especially now, we're really seeing that we need this more than ever.
Yeah.
To remind people of India and Pakistan, just the whole subcontinent of India, that we're one people. And that's the other thing, right? Like when you think about India, the beauty of India is that it was this landmass of all these different regions that spoke different languages, that had different religions, but it worked. That's the beauty of India.
Yeah.
And in this world now that's becoming a lot more tumultuous, I liked Moksha. It was this reminder that music can help heal.
Yeah.
And another reminder that despite being from different regions or borders, that really it doesn't really matter. Like we all share similar things that make us human.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and we can't think of the subcontinent as the conquest of one people over another. It's been for most of its history a coexistence. I mean, there's been conquest. Like, I'm not pretending like there hasn't been forms of colonialism and invasion and bloodshed and all of that. Like that's not what I'm saying. But it has been it hasn't been a monoculture, right? There's so many cultures, it's so incredibly diverse, and I think something that we often come back to personally is Mohanji taught us that when we think about music as a unifying factor, we have to think about the fact that Mian Tansen, the famed court musician, Mughal court musician, was a disciple of Swami Haridas Ji, who was a disciple himself of Bhai Mardana, who was the companion of Guru Nanak Dev Ji.
Mm-hmm.
So just in that alone, you have a Muslim who is taught by a Hindu, who's taught by a Sikh,
Yeah.
and it kind of explains that the Guru Shishya Parampara is neutral about religion,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
The commonality there is the talim, right?
Yeah. Beautifully said.
Yeah.
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 It's crazy. And I mean, that's how we grew up with Mohan Uncle.
Yeah.
His door was literally always open.
Yeah.
Everyone used to say that.
Literally open.
And
yeah.
we literally saw every type of people, and we were friends with every type of person, Sikh, Muslim, Hindu.
Everyone came to his house.
Everyone came. Everyone sat together,
Yeah.
knee by knee, back to back,
Yeah.
enjoying all kinds of musicians' music, and then we would just eat and laugh after.
Yeah.
And that was our upbringing.
Yeah.
And then losing him was a big loss. And I think that's why, let's be real, there's no reason why anyone would go through the hardship of putting on events like this in a space that's very hard to do it in.
Yeah. It's not easy, especially in Indian classical music. Yeah.
I think Indian classical, it's such a niche, but there is a lot of things that don't help it become. I mean, it's not Bollywood. It's not these kind of genres that are easy, right? To fill out halls and I mean financially, right?
Yeah, the demand is limited, but that's the kind of the point. Is like we almost don't. It's not a commercial thing for us. It's like we want to expose the genre to more audiences, because look at me. I don't speak the language. I don't speak Hindi. I'm of Guyanese descent. My grandparents my parents and grandparents are from Guyana,
mm-hmm.
right? I have no reason to feel as connected to classical music, Indian classical music, as I do, but because of my life experience, because of the fact that I've met Mohanji, and he was sort of my guide through it.
Yeah,
I've found a home in Indian classical music, and I feel like you and I both feel this sense of kinship with the music, and there's no reason why we can't share this with the world. It's just kind of gatekept a little bit, and it's been deliberately made inaccessible in some ways. And we have this sort of obsession, and I don't want to be disrespectful, but we have this obsession with classification and gharana and all of this, and that creates some division. And if you're from this gharana, like you don't really, like you'll criticize this other gharana, and like it's sort of like a weird kind of we sometimes these classifications create divisions, but at the end of the day, music is about like, does it sound good? Does it make you feel something? We lose the art, right?
Yeah. Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
I think that's another thing is we can become critical, or at least some people in the ICM space.
Yeah.
But like, it's music at the end of the day, right?
It's art, like, man. Yeah.
Just chill and enjoy it.
Just relax, man. Yeah. And sometimes I get frustrated because it's like, people are just like, I don't know. Like rules are important, but what makes Indian classical music so great is that it is improvised on the stage.
Yeah.
Like that's what's cool about it.
What was it that your boss said?
Oh, he told me he came to Moksha, and he said that he was really moved by, in particular, the performance by Shahbazji and Irshadji, and he said that he's not used to seeing so much joy on stage and like smiles and the sort of
creating on the spot.
Yeah, the satsanga sort of like dynamic and like the sort just the fact that people are so happy doing what they were doing, because a lot of music, especially classical music, is kind of thought of as austere, right? And he was really moved by that, and he kind of realized like that's kind of the point of everything, right? You have to find joy in what you do.
Right. Yeah. Well said.
Yeah. So that's sort of my approach to music as well. It's okay for a little besura here and there. Like, who cares? Like, it's music at the end of the day, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's, I don't know. Maybe people will disagree, but yeah.
I think there's levels to it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, there are levels to it for sure. But we learned a lot doing Moksha, in terms of artist management and like understanding.
Event management.
Yeah. Communication, things like that.
Yeah. I mean, for the most part, yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
But a lot of learnings.
For sure.
Managing egos, I think, too.
Yeah.
And oftentimes, not
the artist.
the main artist.
Yeah, no.
To be honest,
let's be clear.
that was easy.
No, there were egos of the folks who were not on the stage.
Yeah.
But one thing I learned as well is the importance of like something that I still think about today is, I think before Moksha I thought creativity is optimized when you're given a blank canvas.
Right.
When you're just given free reign to do whatever you want. And what I realized is that truly creative people, if you give them infinite space, they actually implode. They like collapse in on themselves because it's too much chaos, right? I think creativity actually comes from constraint. And Pinky G said it actually. It's not my idea. It's Pinky G's idea. Yeah. He said it at Kismet, I believe. He said, you have to have freedom within discipline.
Yeah, within the discipline.
Yeah. And I realized that you have to give truly creative people constraints. You have to tell them what they can and can't do. Like what they can't do, rather.
Yeah. Which is so like
counterintuitive.
Counterintuitive. Yeah. You would think, right? Just let them run with it. Yeah. I think that was probably the main learning. Yeah. Would you say?
Yeah. Well, for me, yeah, I think it was the main learning for sure. Because I think we wanted to give artists the free reign to do what they want, but I think we also, as curators, let's say, we have a vision for what we want to see on stage, the theme and all of that, and I think we kind of gave ourselves license to be like, actually, this is what we want to see. We're not going to tell you what to perform, but like, this is sort of the idea we're going for. What do you think? And we should feel empowered to communicate that with artists, right?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think we didn't do that last year.
No.
And even though everything went well, but yeah, I think the irony was that constraints helps.
Yes.
Which you wouldn't think.
Yeah.
But it is something we want to work on.
Yeah.
I think finding a balance that works for both the artist and the organizers. I wouldn't want to say organize. I want to say like the people that put on the create the stage.
Yeah.
For the musicians. That's a good learning. Yeah,
it's a good learning too. And even for us, like when we're trying to be creative and do something different, like give ourselves constraints. Yeah. Like give ourselves a budget,
I mean, one thing for me is like I need to set myself deadlines, and it's like for every little thing. And being someone that's a perfectionist or even a procrastinator, I think that's also counterintuitive, because I think for perfectionists, they think that they have to get everything perfect, but the remedy for that is actually creating a deadline, and you have to publish whatever it is at the deadline, even if it's half done. And it's because I think a lot of people that are content creators or creatives, I think they will say that a lot of work that they made that they thought was not perfect, or they thought was not their best, performed better than things that they thought like was perfect, or they took their time on it and they ticked all the boxes. Vijay, switching gears a little bit.
Okay.
Do you want to know something I've been musing on?
Okay, yeah. I'm scared.
So me and Justin have been noticing that a lot of the artists that we like, they're born in March.
Yeah.
And they're Pisces.
Yeah,
like for instance, Zakarji was born in March.
That's right.
Shreya Ghoshal in March.
What about Drake?
I don't know about Drake,
Okay.
but I'm gonna check now. But actually, he's not that good.
Okay. Yeah. It's fine.
But you know, I'm a little bit of an astrology nerd, right?
Yeah.
So then I started doing some research,
Okay.
and yeah, a lot of these artists they have Pisces in their chart. Like Ustad Sukhwinder Singh Pinky, he's a Pisces rising.
Pisces is fire.
No, it's not.
Oh,
It's
sorry,
water.
My bad. Okay.
Pinky G's
Okay.
Pisces rising.
All right.
Ravi Shankar's a Pisces rising.
Wow.
Zakaji is a Pisces sun.
Interesting.
Who else? But yeah, I noticed that. And so I was like, that's interesting, right? But Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. And it rules the 12th house. And the 12th house is the house of the ocean, right?
Okay.
It's the house of like transcending.
Okay.
And you can say it's the God, it's like the house of God or
Wow.
godliness.
Yaba.
And it's interesting, like when you see Ustad Zakir Hussain, when he plays, it seems like he's almost like not there.
Yeah.
He's like in another dimension.
Yes.
Or he's kind of like just merging.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Oneness.
With oneness.
Yeah.
And it's not to say that you need Pisces in your chart. There's all types of people, right? But I think different signs and there's different characteristics. Like some people sing and their vocal tonality is amazing. Like, you know, just the way they're just the way their vocal cords are.
Yeah.
There's like this. Some people are very like earthy and they have this bass, and some people just have like unique voices. And those are things that probably can't be trained. It's just they're just born with it. And then some people sing with emotion. You know what I mean? Like Shafqat Ali Khan.
Yes.
That's one thing I love about him.
Yes.
Every word has just like this raw emotion
Tragedy.
to it.
Yeah. It's almost
And you can
tragic.
feel the poetry.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
These are different qualities. But the what I would say about this Pisces quality is this because they say in this the last nakshatra of Pisces in Revati, that makes someone a natural musician.
Wow.
And when I see these certain people, it seems like there's this divinity about their music. It's almost like how would you describe it? Like
It's like that. This is
otherworldly almost.
This is their divine revelation. This is like what they're meant to do in a way. Yeah, their destiny. They're born to do it. You know.
Yeah. I feel like these kind of people,
Yeah.
they kind of like transcend just regular like this third plane. Like let's say this earth is like this third plane, this material realm.
Yeah.
It's almost like they're seeing another frequency that you can't see.
Oh,
and
I see,
it
I
kind of
see.
tapped into that. And that's why
Interesting.
like when I see Pinky G, like there's this there's something you can't teach. You know what I mean? I think there's you can sit with a master and try to learn everything,
Yeah.
but there's some inherent qualities, and I think that's something I'm gonna probably keep researching and seeing.
Yeah.
But Pisces is a trend, man.
That's interesting. I know nothing about this, but that's very interesting.
Well, I try to teach you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
You're just not soaking it up.
No, I'm learning a little bit. I got Gemini.
Yeah, you got a lot of Gemini in your chart.
Gemini. Okay, so when I think about Pinky G, for example, I feel like it feels like he's always keeping time.
Oh, okay.
It feels like he is always like he's
Yeah.
almost always in sync. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like
It's like clockwork. He'll never go off.
he'll never go off.
Yeah.
Like his rhythm is perfect, and like even when he's talking, like he doesn't like for me for you. Well, me, I'll speak for myself. If I have to like, you know, change jatis or like, you know, get into a different tal or something, I have to like warm up a little bit.
Yeah.
With him, it's like it's always there. The jap tal is always going, teen tal is always going. You know, it's like,
and it's effortless.
yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I think you're onto something. I think these artists, they're able to access all these different parts of their mind
Yeah.
at the same, like with ease.
And then with Zakuji, I feel like, you know what synesthesia is? When you
No.
see colors, like you see.
Oh yeah.
I feel like he had that, because I feel like his approach to music wasn't mathematical. It was, he was seeing something that we couldn't see, like the notes of the tabla. I think, my theory is that he literally saw colors, and he was like creating a beautiful picture, and that was his approach.
Yeah.
So like I think you're onto something with the, like they see things we can't see. I think that's a thing.
Yeah. I think that's a quality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
there's all these different types of qualities out there.
Yeah.
But this one is something that you probably can't teach,
Yeah.
and you're almost born with it.
Yeah.
And probably takes a lifetime to master, and then maybe you begin another life with this
Yeah.
inherent quality. I don't know.
Yeah.
But maybe that's what it could mean. So this was episode 1.
This is great. This is cool.
Let's see where this goes.
We got some other episodes coming out, right? Like some interviews, maybe.
Yeah.
We'll
Some
see.
exciting ones.
Yeah, and let us know what you want to see.
Actually, if the audience can let us know in the comments, who do you want to see and what kind of topics do you want us to explore?
Yeah.
Yeah, please. See you in the second podcast.
See you, man.